In this video, I'm going to show how to use the simulation for the Unit 4, Section 2 Particles and Gases simulation. Make sure to have your packet at the ready while you're doing this simulation. The packet should look something a little bit like this. Basically, it's 3 different sections where we're going to change 3 different things about a gas and see what happens to the pressure. So have this packet kind of at the ready, and then head to our Schoology page. Click that big Today's Folder button, and you'll see this link to gas simulation. You want to click on that link to gas simulation, and you should see this screen appear once it actually forwards. What you want to do is click this Ideal button. Now, this is the gas simulator. Basically, what you can do is in the top right here, you can add particles of a gas to the box. For instance, if I click this double arrow under Heavy, you'll see that when I click it, it adds 50 particles to the box. And I'll do it again to add 100. Now that I have particles inside the box, you'll see a couple things happen. First, in the top, we see this temperature appear, 300 Kelvin, 300 K. You'll also see this pressure gauge here that's showing the pressure of that gas. That's what we are going to monitor in this lab. Now, I'm going to, for a second, put a pause on this simulation and just show you how this relates to the packet. If I go back to the packet, the way this works is basically you read through the packet and follow the directions step by step. You'll see to start, we're in this Part A amount of gas section, and it says in this activity, you're going to keep temperature and volume constant, but you'll change the amount of gas in the box. Basically, you want to follow these steps one by one by one by one by one until you've gathered your data and graphed your results. And I'll show you how to do that a little bit for Part A. So Part A starts by saying reset the simulation to its starting point and only use the heavy species of gas. I'll go back to my simulation. I'll reset it by hitting this orange button in the bottom right. And I'll add 100 heavy particles by clicking that double arrow again until it says 100. That is basically me following that first direction. Let me head back to the packet. Step 3. Oh, excuse me, we're still on step 2. Step 2 says wait until the pressure stops changing, and for each number of particles in the table below, record the resulting pressure. So you can see there's a spot in the table that says number of particles 100, and has a spot for us to record pressure. If I go back to the simulation, notice that this pressure is jumping around a little bit, but it looks like it's hovering around the same number. It looks like it's around 7.6-ish. What I can do is I can click the pause button, and I've paused it at 11.4 atm. So I know that at 100 particles, my pressure is 11.4 atm. I'll head back to my packet. So for 100 particles, the pressure was 11.4 atm. My directions then tell me, add 100 particles at a time, wait for the pressure to stop, and record the data. So I'll start the simulation again, add 100 more particles. Now I have 200. I'll wait for the pressure to kind of stop jumping around. It looks like it's stopped somewhere to 23.5, 23.4. I'll click the pause button. My pressure at 200 particles is 23.7. So I'll record 23.7 for 200 particles. Now I would keep doing this. I'll do it one more time. Start the simulation, go to 300 particles. I'll give it a second for the pressure to stop jumping around. 34.8. Oop. I'll type in 34.8. And I would basically repeat this process until I've filled out the entire table all the way to 800 particles. The next step would be to graph this data. And this works similar to something we've done before. We have 100 particles at a pressure of 11.4 atm. I'll go to 100 on the particle axis. I'll go to around 11.4 on the y-axis, and I'll put a dot there. The next dot is at 200 particles and 23.7. I'll go to 200 on the x-axis, 23.7 on the y-axis, and I'll put a dot right there. I'll do it one more time for 300 particles, 34.8, 300, and around 34.8. So right around here. Now I would continue doing this graph, and once I have all my points, I would probably draw like a line through all of my points, some line that best fits your data. And this is basically showing us the relationship between the number of particles and the pressure. We'll use this to develop some math equations so we can make predictions about our gases. But that's basically the process. You'll follow these steps, step by step, gather your data, and then graph it. There are some questions after each graph that I would like you to try to answer. They're a little bit tougher, but I think you can do it. Other than that, everything is very straightforward as long as you read the instructions, but I want to point out one or two things on the simulation. As you saw, to reset it, you hit this orange button in the bottom right. To add particles, you click this box up here in the top right. And for temperature, we haven't seen this yet. To change the temperature, you'll either drag this slider on the bottom up to increase temperature, which you'll see up here at the top, or you'll drag the slider down to cool it down, which again you'll see up here at the top. And that's temperature. The last section will deal with volume though. To see volume, you have to click this box that says width, and that'll show you the width of the box here underneath. Now to actually change it, you have to drag this handle to the left to make it bigger. You'll see it's maximum at 15, and you'll drag it smaller, smaller, smaller to close it. It'll end at 5. But all the time, we're doing those same pressure readings. Once the pressure stops jumping around, you'll click pause and record that into your spreadsheet. Try to do this a little bit on your own, but when I come back, we'll finish it up all together. Good luck.